Hi, today we're going to be using some colorful unleaded enamels and some liquid enamel as well, and I'll be showing you the Sgraffito technique. So we're going to start with Marigold Yellow by Thompson Enamels, and we have a 3" by 3" sheet of copper here. I've already done some a coat of liquid enamel on the back that has not yet been fired. And I'm going to use an 80 mesh sifter. Okay, it's a beautiful color. I'll get that in the kiln and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, we're going to stick it in for about 1.5 minutes. And see how it comes out. Right, excuse me. So that's it. It always looks very dark. The yellows, oranges and reds always look very dark when they come out of the kiln. But I think this is a pretty even layer, and we're going to do a gorgeous bright orange on top of that. Here's our Marigold Yellow, and you can see that the layer was quite thin because you can still see quite a lot of the oxidized copper underneath. But I'm not going to worry about that. The next color I'm going to use is, let's see, Sunset Orange. That's 1840. That's also a Thompson unleaded color. I think I've got a bit too much in here. Whoops. I'm not going to put it all over because I want some of the yellow to still show through. And we'll see how that ends up looking. Okay, there we are. We'll see how that looks in a few minutes when it's cool. I think it'll look nice, and then we'll think about putting a third color on before we do our Sgraffito. Okay, now you can see the color it's gone. It's quite burned off down there, and I'm going to use a little bit of Buttercup Yellow. That's 1810 Thompson. And what I think I'm going to do is try and just get that kind of effect, a blended look. Okay. It's quite a random look, but we'll put that in the kiln and we'll see how it turns out. And then I think we'll do one more color on top and then we'll go for it. For our next color we're going to use Flame Orange. That's 1860 from Thompson, and we're going to use a stencil as well. I'm just trying to decide where to put the stencil. I think I'll just put it here, and I might just put it off center. And I'm using a 100 mesh sifter. And excuse me, I need to lift that up. So there we have that. And I need to just brush a little bit away from here. And then before I put this into the kiln, I'm just going to do another little bit of the Marigold Yellow somewhere around here. So I'll meet you back in a second. Okay, we've got the Marigold Yellow. I'm using 100, sorry, oh that's 200. Excuse me, I need 100. I don't want to use 200. It's too fine. And instead of doing an official stencil, I'm just going to go like that. And it'll cover a little bit there. And just add one more pop of color. Excuse the sound of all that rummaging. I'm going to go back to my Buttercup, and we don't want to get Buttercup and this on the same piece of paper because I'll be pouring the rest back into that jar. So we're just going to use one of these spot sifters. Just doing it randomly. Trying not to get it off the edge of the Okay, let's fire that, and then we're going to get our liquid enamel on top. I'll give you a bit of a close-up of it. So that's what we have so far. Okay, whoops. It's a little bit wobbly. Let me show you that. Okay, I think it looks pretty interesting. We'll wait until that cools. It'll get a lot brighter when it cools, and then we'll go for our liquid enamel. Okay, here's our piece. Now the Buttercup Yellow was very faint, but anyway, I'm not going to worry about that. This is really to show you the technique more than anything else. So we're going to go ahead and put our liquid enamel on this, and then we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to scratch through it. Okay, here we are. And I've got a clean sheet of paper. I've got my liquid black, which is unleaded, and it's from the Thompson range, and it's quite runny, as you can see, and it's mixed with rice water. And we're not going to put tons on, but we want to get a fairly even coat. So just put a big blob in the middle. I'm sort of swishing it around. Not worrying if it goes over the edges, that's okay, because we can clean that off. Got a little bit more. That's definitely enough. And I just want to even it out, so I'm going to just tap it. So there it is. I'm going to let that dry. We're not going to let it go bone dry, because if stuff goes bone dry, it tends to chip off. But we're going to get it, you know, very dry without being, you know, looking like something that's been in the desert. And then we'll get to it. Hi again. I'm going to now do the Sgraffito. This is our liquid enamel dry. And I'm going to do the silhouette of this cat. And I'm just going to do it freehand as best I can. And what I'm using is just a little round stick that I've sharpened to a point. You can use anything. You could use a toothpick, you could use a blade, you can use thicker things than this, but this is what I'm going to use. So I think I'm going to start with the cat's ear, and I'm just gently scraping through. That's his ear. This is a really large sewing needle, and I actually taped a feather, chicken's feather, to the end so I don't lose it. It's just easier to see. So what I want to do here is I'm actually just going to fix a little bit there. Okay, here is our cat tile. I'm happy with that. You could go further with it. You could put some painting enamels on it. You could put some beads. Anyway, this is just the basic Sgraffito technique. And I'm going to put this, I'll do a photograph of this, take a photo of this and put it up so you can see it more closely. Thanks for watching.